From his horrifyingly public cheating scandal to his embarrassingly aggressive anger issues, here are all the reasons why people absolutely hate Tiger Woods. Starting with his shocking infidelity scandal. Even when he was one of the most dominant golf players in the world, he was a bit of a controversial figure. Mostly because of his quick temper. All that escalated when his worst exploits suddenly came out to the public eye. What happened was that a report was published in tabloids claiming that Tiger was involved in an extramarital affair. The headline said, "Tiger Woods cheating scandal," and inside was an article that detailed the pro golfer's affair with a New York City nightclub manager. Her name was Rachel Yucatel, and the two apparently had an affair that spanned months. She was pictured entering the same hotel that Tiger was staying in during the Australian Masters, and was quoted as telling a friend, "It's Tiger Woods. I don't care about his wife. We're in love." Ouch. Us Weekly also published a voicemail that was supposedly left by the golf superstar. Tiger initially refuted the claims, but later went on to admit that he had in fact cheated.
"I was unfaithful. I had affairs. I cheated."
Rumor has it that he's hooked up with over 120 women. That's insane. After his cheating scandal was exposed, a ton of women came out saying they had an affair with Tiger, all through his 8-year-long marriage to his wife, the Swedish supermodel Elin Nordegren.
Today, 9 years later, I'm a proud American and I have 2 beautiful children.
Only 2 weeks after this incident, the number of his known mistresses went up to 14, and he entered rehab for his sex addiction by the end of the month. In his public apology, Tiger admitted that he had been unfaithful and that he had cheated. He said that what he did was unacceptable and that he'd hurt his wife and kids, as well as his other family and friends.
People want to know how I could have done these things to my wife, Elin, and to my children.
Divorce was inevitable after what happened. He reportedly lost $750 million in that divorce. After his infidelity was revealed, he took a break from sports. The pro golfer lost endorsements and sponsorships with big-name brands like Nike, Gillette, Gatorade, and Accenture. These earned him $10 to $15 million a year, so this was a gigantic loss for the athlete. He even pulled out of the Chevron World Challenge. Cheating on someone you've been married to for 8 years is one thing, but Tiger Woods has also been arrested for driving under the influence. If he wasn't already hated enough since the infidelity scandal, just a couple of years later, the professional golf star was arrested by the Florida cops for drunk driving. According to reports, he was also found to have painkillers, sleeping pills, and marijuana in his system. He was charged with reckless driving and he pleaded guilty. After this, he was sent to treatment for his dependency on painkillers. Following this, he took a break from the sport once again to focus on his health and recovery. This wasn't the first time Tiger Woods was caught using drugs, though. The record-breaking athlete was allegedly using performance-enhancing drugs around a decade ago, too. There were rumors that he was using HGH, or the human growth hormone. A sports medicine expert named Anthony Galea was even investigated for his role in distributing the banned substances to Tiger and other sportsmen. The pro golfer dismissed the claims, saying that Galea never gave him any HGH or PEDs, and that he'd never taken any of those in his life. He added that he'd never taken any illegal drugs at all. And even though no evidence was found to support these claims, the rumors tarnished his legacy even further. But almost nothing was as bad as the Thanksgiving night car accident. This controversy stayed with Tiger Woods for a long time. I mean, it's pretty much the controversy that kick-started his downfall. It was before his cheating scandal went public. The sports star was summoned by the cops after his Cadillac Escalade SUV hit a tree and a fire hydrant. Police reports said that he wasn't even wearing a seatbelt. There's tons of speculation about what really went down. Was he drunk? Had his wife hit him? It seemed that she'd found out about his affairs and was absolutely livid. She was seen yelling at him and chasing him with a golf club by the neighbors. Apparently, she confronted him and everything hit the fan. Fans didn't really find out what happened immediately, but this was the night that everything really just went downhill for Woods. What's worse is how he dealt with it afterwards. In his first public appearance since the Thanksgiving incident, it didn't seem like he changed at all.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
I mean, I'm sure he tried to seem like he'd been humbled by what happened. He gave a whole speech at a press conference, and his mom was sitting right in front to give him a hug when it was all said and done. But the problem was, what he said in that speech didn't really align with what actually happened. At one point, when he was talking about his ex-wife, Woods said that she deserved praise and not blame. And this was pretty weird, considering literally no one in the world was actually blaming her for what happened. He was the one getting all the hate. He even brought up his employees and his sponsors, which didn't make a lot of sense given what the speech was about.
To everyone involved in my foundation, including my staff, board of directors, sponsors, and most importantly, the young students.
I guess he wanted to turn the event into some sort of public platform where everyone would discuss all the good he'd done for charity and kids all over the world. It's a little hard for everyone to remember all the good he's done when he's always been such a controversial figure. I can't be the only one who remembers how quick his temper was, right? I mean, that was one of the major reasons why he was hated by so many. We've seen it all. On the course, if he'd ever fire a bad shot, Tiger would get so mad that he'd throw his club. He's even dropped his club on his backswing or smashed it at the ground on a couple of occasions. Tiger's behavior on the golf course is literally so dramatic and unpredictable that he almost seems like an angry caricature of a golf player. Don't get me wrong, his fans love that he showed some personality on the field, but there should be a set limit, you get me? Especially when it comes to golf. The audience is so close to the players that if a player loses his cool, someone could very easily get hit by a club throw. Woods didn't just take his anger out on his golf clubs, though. He pretty much hated confrontations with photographers as well. It's true that a pro golfer needs to focus all their attention on a shot, and sometimes the noise on the field can get to them. Even the smallest misstep could cost them the entire shot.
Last couple of holes, what's going to happen? Is he going to cut? Oh,
my God, this is
back.
probably 40 yards, maybe 50 yards left of the green.
It's understandable, but Woods' reaction to these photographers was more than a little heated. He'd stop mid-swing and just scream his heart out at the people who'd be taking photographs. He should have found a better way to deal with these situations instead of just initiating shouting matches with everyone and anyone on the course. Yelling isn't all he did on the course. He was also extremely liberal with his language, especially on the golf course. He was a hothead, and during the games he let his emotions get the best of him if a shot didn't go his way.
At the moment, the rain has slowed down to just a drizzle.
He said a number of times that he'd work on it, but there was never any sign that he was changing. Anyway, that's everything about why people hate Tiger Woods.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.